All right, everybody. Jack here, and I'm going to be chatting with Reyes. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for showing up, man. I gotta say, I reach out to a lot of YouTubers, and
Yeah,
typically they don't respond. So you
yeah,
actually responding was like, whoa! And then I looked at all the interviews you've done with, well, all the interviewees, all the
yeah.
times that you've
You
been
can say
interviewed
that.
by somebody else, right? And I was like,
Yeah,
oh man, this guy's probably actually gonna follow through. Holy crap!
yeah. And you know what? Actually, we had set this interview like a week before, but I just had to make it happen, man. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I love that energy. It's great. Yeah, guys, I scheduled an interview with Reyes on like the 29th, next Monday. And then I
Yeah.
called him last Monday and I was like, "Oh man, he didn't pick up." And then I looked at my messages and was like, that's cuz I told him a week from now."
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? And I have my interviews written down in the calendar, but I wasn't in my office. So I'm like, oh no, I can't believe I forgot. Because I forget a lot of things, man.
Me
And as
too,
soon
man.
as I noticed I missed your call, I was like, bro, here's my number. Hit me up whenever. I'm so sorry. But hey, I'm glad we're able to make it happen, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So you come from a more physical entrepreneurship perspective, and
Yeah.
in my case, I come from a more digital perspective. Like we're both self-employed people and both run YouTube channels about teaching people about self-employment. So I figured in this call it'd be great to talk about some of the tools and different income streams and different concepts, all related to self-employment, so people listening can get actionable things that they can think about and apply in their lives.
Sounds good.
So I guess we should definitely talk about YouTube, because I don't know about you, but from my opinion, YouTube is the biggest opportunity available to anybody on this planet.
And I agree with you 100%, man. If you ever want to be an entertainer, a comedian, or just try being your own boss, YouTube is giving a lot of people the opportunity. You just have to put in the work and be patient. But yes, man, I agree with you.
I hear you on that patience, because I was when I came across your channel, the first thing I do when I come across any YouTuber's channel is two things. One, I look at the amount of time in between each upload, and
Hmm.
two, I sort the video by oldest, and then I start watching their oldest videos to get a sense of how it was in the beginning, right? And in your
I
case, you start out like, you change your location, go somewhere with
Yeah,
$200 in the car, and like, oh man, that was great. That was absolutely great.
thank you,
But
man.
it was so cool seeing you talk about, like, you'd say the number of subscribers you have in the video, right? And so I was watching your like eighth or ninth video, and you were like, to my 8 subscribers. And by this point, you have 200,000 subscribers and everything else, right? And it,
Yeah.
it was so fascinating to me seeing this part of your journey, because you talk about having the doubts about YouTube and having to take a break to focus on other things. And you do this like 3 times where you take
Hmm.
multiple month-long breaks. It
Yep.
was so cool just knowing he doesn't know what's gonna happen. Oh man, like
Yeah, yeah, no, and I love it, man. I love it because I love being real with my audience and letting them know, hey, I'm not perfect. I have my doubt. I take my breaks, but I always try to come back and finish what I started.
and that's one of the great benefits of YouTube, is that, like, it's almost like you have to do it better when you're talking about it on YouTube, because you don't want to let your audience down. You told them you were going to do that. So if you don't do it, you're not just letting down yourself, you're also letting down other people. And for me, that was a huge turning point in my life, because I didn't really give a crap about myself. But
Mhm.
other people, oh yeah, absolutely. And it wasn't until I really got into YouTube that it's like, I could die now and people can learn from me 100
Yeah.
years from now. People, like, the same with you. We are documenting our journeys and our process and everything that we're learning online, and that
Hmm.
is so powerful. It just is so meaningful.
I have the same mindset because I actually thought the same thing. I only have one life, and I knew when my time comes, I want to be remembered for something. And I want to help so many people even after I'm gone. And I felt YouTube making educational content is the only way I was going to achieve that goal. And to be honest, I have no regrets. I love what I do. And if I stop today, I will be happy of what I've been able to produce for the last couple of years.
It's a good feeling, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, and so another reason I wanted to talk about YouTube is because YouTube essentially acts as a catalyst to anything that you're doing in your life. A lot of us can think, oh, if I share information on YouTube, then people are just going to copy what I'm doing and I'm not going to earn any money. And I don't know if this is actually ever really true.
You know what? To be honest, it is true,
Mm-hmm.
in my personal opinion, because I've always tried helping people start their own thing and even their own YouTube channels. And some people have taken the knowledge I provided and then just boom, man, made things happen. And pretty much, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with people taking my knowledge and my experience, applying it to achieve their goals. Because, first of all, you can never stop anybody from doing something. You do something, someone's going to try copying you. You just have to make sure you're better. You're doing it better than them. And that's my number one secret. Take all the information, copy exactly what I do. I'm always going to be trying to do it better than anybody else.
Yeah, especially if you're the one originally doing something, then you have this creative force, this momentum that anybody who is copying you can't replicate. Like they could get close to you, but they can't have the same level of success they do unless they start copying you and integrating their own stuff into the strategy, making it their own.
See, once somebody takes my idea and makes it into their own, it's their idea. Because what I think of copying is people trying to say the same jokes as me, trying to do that exact same content. And I'm very confident in myself that nobody could copy me because I'm really happy about this. You know, I'm not faking anything. And that's something people can't copy. What is it called? Like you're just real. You're not faking anything.
Authenticity,
There you go.
transparency.
Yeah, exactly that, man. People can't copy that.
Yeah.
I want to see them try.
Well, I mean, if they could copy being authentic, but at that point, power to them. If you're more authentic people, yeah, that's what the world needs. More of us being open and honest.
But I know it's such a difficult thing to be as transparent as I am. Because what, you think I like showing my failures? Anybody else would hide that from people, but not me. You know, if I make $2, if I make 20, 200, I'm going to show you. And there's a lot of people that, believe it or not, in the comment section, that if I mess up, they call me out and they try bringing myself down.
I believe it.
Reyes, you're so dumb. Oh, Reyes, how could you let this happen? Oh, Reyes, this and that. But I just built tough skin and I just built my confidence that it doesn't even faze me anymore, bro.
Yeah, I went through a whole insecure phase of that myself. Because I moved to this country as a YouTuber. There was another YouTuber talking shit about me who was twice as big. And I didn't know anybody. I was living with some people I didn't know at all. And I was in this country. I'm not fluent in Spanish. I was like, oh, my God. I would wake up, read YouTube comments, and want to cry.
Hey, man, we all gone through that, though. You know, but I feel life is always trying to test you. And that's one of the tests, insecurities. And are you going to let that stop you? Or are you going to keep going and fight through it? That's up to you, to anybody watching this. Whatever you're going through, it's life throwing you tests, throwing you roadblocks. And not to stop you, but to challenge you, to see if you're going to find a way over it.
Yeah, there's one difference between successful people and unsuccessful people, and that's how they perceive obstacles. The successful person understands that an obstacle is a problem that has a solution. All problems have solutions. You have to think this way in order to be able to find the solution if you don't know it, right? Whereas most people see an obstacle and it's a reason to stop or a reason to not pursue it or not try. And really, that's all it boils down to. It's not about being smart. You could be super dumb, and as long as you think there's a solution, you're going to get there eventually.
And look, another thing I noticed is that people feel they have to solve the problems themselves. You don't. You don't have to remember everything. You don't have to do everything yourself. You just have to find the answer. Like, for example, one of my vending machines wasn't working. And instead of me breaking my head learning about how to fix the problem, I asked somebody else who had experience, and he gave me the answer to fix my problem. And there you go.
Boom.
Yep.
So now that you bring up vending machines, let's talk about this, because this is one of the reasons I wanted to talk about YouTube as a catalyst, because you had a vending machine business, right? And then you made multiple videos about this. Yeah. But what was remarkable to me was watching the vending machine video that got over 1 million views, and you sharing how much you made on that, which not from the video, from the vending machine business part itself. And it was in like quarters, it wasn't a whole lot of money. But then that video got so many views. Can you share what was that experience like, having a business that's earning you, I think it was like $30 or $40 a month at the time, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And the video about that, I mean, it earns way more than that, So what was that like going through that?
Well, I don't hide this. All my businesses I mainly do it for content. Whether I make money or not, it's content for my big business, which is YouTube. I'm treating YouTube as a business, but I love it, man. Like, that's why I don't care if I make money or not on the business, because I know I'm gonna make money with the content it makes.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I was just doing the candy machine business, it's all right if I was making a few bucks, but for sure not a full-time business unless you have at least 100 machines.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of fascinating too, because I relate to what you're talking about now, because drop shipping was essentially the same thing for me. I didn't really care about drop shipping itself. And if it wasn't for YouTube, I probably wouldn't have kept drop shipping. But drop shipping allowed me to create content about something. And it put me in touch with this whole demographic of people who have problems that they need to fix, like how to access their money, all sorts of stuff, right? And it also enabled me to do ridiculously dumb, outrageous things with eBay dropshipping stores and get attention. But really, for me, it was always about YouTube. So the other dropshippers I talked to, they're like, you're a lunatic. What are you doing? You're an idiot. You're crazy. And I was just like, it's for YouTube, man. You got to think in the long run.
Exactly. You don't even know how many comments I get saying, oh, that's not a successful business. Just stop trying because you're not making any money. But they don't understand, or maybe they haven't seen my whole channel where I'm honest. I'm doing it just for the content.
So what other physical entrepreneurial things have you tried or done? Because I know like the main ones that I understand you've done are screen printing. So for those of you guys listening who don't know what that is, that's when you're creating t-shirts. It's different than print on demand. So screen printing is when you actually have the equipment to produce the t-shirts. And also you've done the vending machine stuff. And I saw some videos where you like sold candy and helicopters back on the farm and that kind of thing. So what other stuff have you looked into?
I've done eBay, reselling on eBay, and that was a fun experience. But what I'm doing right now is other driving hustles, Uber, Lyft, Postmates. That's the main things I'm focusing on next for my content.
Mm-hmm. And so what's that been like? Yeah, because I've seen that you've done some videos about Postmates, but to be honest, I don't actually know what Postmates is. I think it's a parcel delivery.
Do you know what Uber is?
Yeah.
Imagine Uber with food. You deliver food instead of delivering people.
Okay, so like Uber Eats.
Exactly like Uber Eats.
Okay, gotcha.
And there's so many now. There's at least 8 services that I want to try. Driving and food delivery. But it sucks, man, to be honest with you, because I have to spend the whole day outside in the car trying to make orders, and I just don't want to spend my time like that. But I do it for the content, man.
For the videos.
I do it for the content, and that's part of being a YouTuber. Since YouTube is my business, don't get me wrong, I enjoy doing it, but there's some things I enjoy And there's some things I don't enjoy that much, but I'm going to do it anyways for the content.
Some things you can enjoy for now.
Yeah. And that's it, man. The driving hustles, they don't really interest me, but I know my audience loves seeing it. And if you want to grow your YouTube channel, you need to give your audience what they want to see.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny because for me, my whole audience was established with drop shipping, and then I got banned and I stopped drop shipping, and I was like, well, now I have an opportunity to recreate my life in a foreign country where I have all my stuff taken care of, and drop shipping isn't part of that. So, like, I'm in a struggle in a sense, trying to figure out how do I give my audience what they want while also being able to continuously create content for the rest of my life. Because like you're talking about with Postmates, you can't just create content for your audience because eventually you lose your heart. And that's really dangerous. And personally, I've met some bigger YouTubers who told me like, look, like I have a very big YouTube channel. I've done this, but I don't enjoy it anymore. And I'm terrified of that happening. I love YouTube so much. It makes me feel like if I have kids and I die, they can get to know me. Like if my dad died when I was 12, if he had a YouTube channel, I could know who he was, but because he didn't, I can't. Whereas in my case, you know, as long as I keep making those videos, right? But so,
yeah, man, everybody's different. And to be honest, yeah, you're absolutely right. If your heart's not into it, you're going to start hating, which was fun at one point. And I'm not there where I hate what I'm doing, but I could tell there's some content that I'm just not as enthusiastic as other hustles. So what I try doing is, I don't know if you noticed, I don't just do one type of content. I mix it up. Because right now, the vending machine, that's exciting to me. So I'm going to keep doing that. And I do Postmates or the driving hustles in between. So pretty much one video is for my audience. Another video is something I enjoy, but hopefully my audience enjoys everything I produce. And I can only hope. I started with shirts. My whole channel was shirts. I was known as the shirt guy. And then I came to a point where I just didn't enjoy making shirt videos anymore. Like I was dreading the shirt videos. And I had to make a tough decision. And luckily, I was about 10,000 or so subscribers. So I was still small. And I told my audience, hey, just letting you guys know, I like trying different types of businesses. I don't know how you're going to feel about it, but this is what I'm going to do in my channel. For the people that support me, thank you so much. For the people that feel this is a dumb move and you want to unsubscribe, it was good knowing you. Thank you for watching my previous videos, and I wish you nothing but the best in life. And that's when I started different types of content. And I kid you not, the first 2 different types of content I tried, nothing, bro. People weren't liking it. But then I made a vending machine video. It blew up. And then I tried eBay. It got good feedback. And right then and there, that's when people didn't see me as a shirt guy. And they saw me as, hey, this YouTuber who's just trying a whole bunch of different businesses. So if I make a random video about a random business, my audience is used to it. And it's going to be okay. And they're going to know, hey, we already know he does random businesses. Let's watch it or let's not. And that's pretty much it, man.
Then you have a strong personality, you know? So even if you're doing something that seems random, it's still Reyes doing it, you know? And that's really like in my case, I think it's a bit similar with my audience where like, it is true that I give people useful information. And I used to think it was all about the information, but now I understand that honestly, I think the delivery is more important. That kind of relentless positivity and just knowing that like there are people in the world who want to change their life, but they don't know how to. And at least they can see that Jack's still making YouTube videos. He's still doing this. I can watch that and feel that energy, feel that vibe, and maybe do something myself if this like, you know, kid can do this, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. And people look up to us. And it depends on what you want YouTube to be. Like me, I know I'm a role model. I know there's people that look up to me, and that's why I try so hard to keep making content. And here's the thing. You mentioned knowledge, information. Information's already out there. It's everywhere. But you have to figure out what makes you unique. And you said it right. The delivery, your personality, your vibe. You know, figure out who you are and how you want to be portrayed on camera, and just be the best person you could be when the camera turns on.
Yeah, it's funny how in the beginning it's easy to get nervous, but once you get used to making videos, like I've published 1,100 YouTube videos, and like now the second I see a camera, I'm like, boom! It's like seeing the face of somebody I know and I haven't seen in a while. I'm like, yeah, I get this. I don't know where it comes from, but then this energy, it just shows up.
You know what? I could relate to you because first of all, it's hard getting used to the camera, but if you really want to do it, you're gonna have to get over it. And I remember our first 12 videos, nobody saw because I just wanted to get comfortable in front of the camera. And little by little, like for example, I don't know about you, but when I first started letting other people see my videos, I would put it on for them in the laptop, and then I would tell them, hey, I'm going to go to the store so you can watch the video, because I didn't want to hear myself. I didn't want to see myself.
Oh, man, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like you're being egotistical almost. I mean, I've gone through that as well. And like now I'm more able to like be in the room when somebody's watching a video I've done or show somebody a video and be okay with it. But there's definitely a part of me that's like,
oh, me too, man. Me too. You know, even some, like, I'm getting recognized a little bit more. And it's just so weird because one person might know me, but everybody around us don't know who I am. Like, who's this guy? You know, why is this guy taking a picture with him? And I feel so shy and nervous when that happens.
It's weird. And that's a very typical YouTuber experience too, because like in both of our positions, people could learn pretty much who we are inside and out while we know nothing about them. And so being in that dynamic of meeting somebody for the first time, and it becomes so obvious that they know you deeply, and you're just like, what's your name? It's like,
oh man,
weird.
Yeah, it is weird, but it's part of the job.
Yeah. So I'm curious about something, because I can tell that teaching people is super important to you. It's essentially the premise of your YouTube channel, teaching through experience and showing what you're doing. So what about like courses and that kind of thing? Is that something that you
know what? I've never thought of courses because I always try putting as much information in my videos that you don't need to buy a course. Of course, it will make it easier for someone who's ready to learn, have a course. But I just want to keep making content, man, because the course, it will take a lot of time and resources, and I'd rather focus that energy into my content, into making free 99 videos. And look, that's just me though, because I get this question every now and then. Reyes, when you make an ebook, a e-course, so you could sell. But the thing is, what makes me different is free 99 knowledge, meaning I give the knowledge out for free. I give my experiences and I show you everything. And it will kind of be hypocritical if I preach free knowledge and then charge for a course.
I think these may be limitations that you're just placing on yourself.
Well,
because from personal experience, like I have free YouTube content and I have courses. I don't not make the free content on YouTube. I just I do both. I have subjects I do courses about, and I do videos about the creation process. And you can find the same information for free on my YouTube channel or pay for it in my courses.
Here's the question. Look, okay, like me, I think who am I and what do I want the world to be? And what if there was somebody who wanted the course, but they didn't have money to pay for that course? They don't deserve that knowledge?
Oh, they could get it from YouTube.
Well, they will have to go through the videos and see hours of videos. Hopefully they didn't miss a video of that knowledge. And how I think about it whether you're poor or rich, whether you have time or not, I want you to get this knowledge. And that's why I try putting so much knowledge into my videos. That way, and what I don't know about you, but one thing I hate is getting the same questions over and over again, man. And it's like, want the answer. I made a video specifically answering your question. But I know people don't go all the way back. I know people don't have enough time to watch every video. So that's why, even though I don't like doing it, I try to say the same information differently, you know, but as much as possible.
Yeah, it is kind of, it's funny how as a YouTuber, managing the perception of your audience is a bit interesting, because it's not as simple as just creating videos where you communicate with them, because that doesn't mean that the people in your audience watch those videos, right? Mm-hmm. And nobody's going to watch every video, just like you're saying. Most individuals will only watch a couple of the major videos. And so they're like, in my case, I'm still getting people who subscribe to me thinking that I'm drop shipping, and then they find out that I'm banned. And no matter how many videos I make explaining exactly what happened about me getting banned like 8 months ago, that's just going to keep happening, you know? And that's just how it is. But really, Reyes, like it's so odd to me that you're not more interested in, because essentially, like, okay, you have a YouTube audience. There are people who use YouTube to learn. There are people who use Skillshare to learn. There are people who use Udemy to learn all over the world. Like on Udemy, for example, 61% of my students, I have like 9,000 students on Udemy, are based in foreign countries. These are countries with really low costs of living, that like the information is more valuable to them because they don't need to earn as much as someone in the United States in order to change their lives. They could earn $500 a month and completely change the quality of their life. And so like, I have the same philosophy. I'm super burned out by the courses that are like, they're hundreds of dollars, and they act like, oh, if you take this course, it's going to fix all your problems. But no, you have to fix your problems, right? You can have the information to do that. But I'm trying to push you a bit, because you could use Skillshare, for example.
But use it for what though?
Just make, it's another business.
Make money.
No, educate people. Do you know the business model of Skillshare?
No.
Okay, so it's not a course marketplace where you buy individual courses. You pay one monthly fee, $15, and you get every single course on the whole platform. So over 16,000 courses. And it's possible to get the service for free for 14 months. So you don't actually need to pay anything to get all of that information.
But I will have to make the course.
Yeah, but the courses are like, the minimum's 10 minutes.
But I could just make a YouTube video 10 minutes and post it for free.
You could do both. I'm just saying that you're an entrepreneur. You're trying all these different things. There's something that you are in a position that would allow you to educate a bunch of people, in addition to the ones you're educating on YouTube, and to monetize it in a way that lines up with your morals. I'm just saying this so that you remember and maybe think about it. That's it.
If anything, I would do it for content, but I feel I'm already giving people as much knowledge as I can in my videos. So I don't really know what more knowledge I could give them that I'm not already doing in my YouTube videos. You get what I'm saying? And if it was just about the money, but me personally, I'm making enough money already. Like, I kid you not, I'm successful. Not because I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars, but because I'm my own boss. I wake up whenever I want. As long as I have enough to pay for my bills, and of course some extra to live a great life, which I am already, I don't want to focus on the money. I want to focus on making great content. And to be honest, the courses, they're boring to somebody who doesn't want to do the course. But the content, I make it entertaining, I make it fun, and I throw knowledge in there. I feel I'm gonna reach a bigger audience than just focusing on courses, and most people don't want to do that. I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
But
I completely understand the mentality. Trust me.
yeah.
I
I
think
wanted,
I relate to you more than you realize, and I
yeah.
used to feel the same way about courses. But
But look,
for
here's my
me,
mission in
doing
life.
courses changed things.
You
So,
know what? Maybe I might try courses and it might change things for me. But right now,
well, you don't need things to be changed anymore.
no. And I want to teach a million people. Do you think I could teach a million people through share or teach a million people through YouTube?
YouTube, Skillshare, Udemy, Lynda, Coursera,
If I
everything.
had to pick one, here's the thing, because there's a
Okay,
lot of
yeah. If you
people.
had to pick one, YouTube is the best. Absolutely.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of people that want to do a whole bunch of different things, but they never get anywhere because they're focusing on too many things. But if they just stay focused on that one thing that's gonna take them to the top, like Skillshare. No offense, I never used it. I'm not saying nothing bad about it. But if I start now versus what I have on my YouTube channel, I will be doing a disservice to my audience if I take the precious time I take to make my content and put it into Skillshare.
Well, you don't even
And
have to make courses on Skillshare. You can just use Skillshare as a student and learn from it and make videos about that. Because the main way that Skillshare pays out their instructors is through referrals of the free trial sign up. So like in my case, for example, I just started making, like, I did a 30-day challenge where I take one Skillshare course per day and I watch one YouTube course per day about the same subject. And for 30 days I do that, and I made one course per week. And I was expecting that there would be more of an interest in the courses themselves on Skillshare, but it actually turned out that a lot of my YouTube audience ended up signing up through Skillshare and not taking my courses, but taking other people's courses. And like the third month, it's like $700, and it's just off of YouTube videos I made in the past. And that's like really, like, I don't have to do anything to get that money to grow. It's super passive. And a person in your position, you have such a big audience. You already have the genuine reputation, the interest in teaching and learning, and there are options that satisfy all of the things you want in like Skillshare, for example. And I don't want to be this. I know I'm pressuring you a bit, and I'm not normally like that at all. But
oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna do it. But you know what? It's interesting, and I'll look into it. If there's a way for me to make money, I might do it for the content. But once again, a paid course, never from Reyes Entrepreneur.
oh,
Never.
don't say never, man.
Never, man. Write it down. All right, remember this moment. You will never have to pay for my knowledge. Never.
But sometimes people have to pay in order to really, like, okay, let me share an experience I had with YouTube and courses. Because when I first came to Nicaragua, I had a big falling out. I left with the people I was around, and then I was living with a bunch of strangers, new situation, really vulnerable. And I was running my YouTube channel at the time, right? And I got in trouble with eBay, and I didn't get banned yet. This is before I got banned. I just fell behind on my bill, right? And I was doing videos about this on my YouTube channel and also talking about it to my course students. So we have this whole audience of people on YouTube who got all my information for free. And we have an audience of people on Udemy at the time who paid for the information. Which group of people do you think was more supportive of me?
Oh, the Udemy.
Absolutely. Like the YouTube audience was really critical. They were really judgmental. Well, okay, I feel like this reality is like 3 or 4% of them were critical, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the people who paid, and okay, my course is only like $10 or $20. It's not expensive, right? So it's not like it's hundreds of dollars. But I was amazed at this concept because the people who paid for my course were reaching out to me, emailing me, asking me, what can I do to help? How can I make your life better? How can I improve this? How can I support you? And that wasn't really happening with the YouTube audience. And for me, this was a big learning point because it made me start to understand that sometimes people need to give something up in order to take it more seriously. And that's why I'm just, be careful about using words like never or always.
No, never. But look, it's not the money. It's that they worked for it. They gave something up. They invested something into it. And when people invest something that really means a lot, whether it's money, their time, into something, they're gonna love it more. They're gonna be more patient with it. And I mean, I know exactly what you mean. I always try, before I give somebody something for free or offer to help them, I make sure I do a little test to see if they're invested into it yet.
Yeah.
And when they're not, they're not. And I just go on to the next person. But yeah, absolutely, man. If you get your audience invested into something, like by paying for it or working for something, they're going to love it way more than if you would give it to them for free.
Yeah, it's funny talking about this because after I started doing YouTube stuff and the drop shipping was a thing and I developed a reputation as a drop shipper, there were a lot of opportunities to do like paid consultations. And for the first like year and a half of that, I just scoffed at them. I was like, I'm never going to let somebody pay me to give them information and that kind of thing. But it got to a point where I started to understand, like, I'm insecure. I don't feel like I know that I'm more capable than I feel like I am. And I need to address that. I need to do things in my life that kind of convince my deeper self that I'm able to do things, because then I can actually do the things I'm destined to do instead of just kind of worrying about them or thinking about them. And so a couple weeks ago, basically I have this Calendly link where people can set up calls, and it's free as long as you let me record it and publish it to my YouTube channel, because then it's like, it's content, right? And in my head, I was like, well, how about I give them the option of paying to make it private, just so they end up publishing it to my YouTube channel and being okay with showing their faces. Because from my opinion, if you show your face on YouTube, you give your contact information, that can completely change your life. And so for me, it was super frustrating how often people are like, oh, no, I don't want to show my face. I don't want to let anybody know who I am. And I'm just like, no, that's the reason you're suffering. Like, you have to be more open and let people reach out to you and help them and help other people and be connected, you know? Mm-hmm. But what I found with these calls is that again, like you're more confident than I am. I'm still dealing with being a YouTuber and kind of new into the life, and my life was really hard before. So I'm in a different phase. But for me, people have actually paid me to like $20 to talk to me for 30 minutes. And this has blown my freaking mind. Like I especially because I'm not professional, I have the same kind of vibe you do, where it's just like super casual, really kind of funny, just trying to be positive, showing mistakes, showing vulnerabilities, everything. And I just didn't expect people to actually do that. And then I was worried that when they would do the calls, that they would expect me to like fix all their problems or that kind of thing. But these people so far have been really awesome. They just want to be encouraged, and they just want to feel like they are contributing to me because I've contributed to them. Mm-hmm. And it's allowed me to have a new kind of relationship with individuals in my audience, because often like they'll do a paid call and then I'll reach out to them, you know, for free separately aside from that. But again, it's an instance where I had a mental block about something that just did it anyway. And it was really worth it, and has kind of started to change the way that I think, you know? Yeah. So I figured I'd just bring it up, but.
No, and you know what? Here's one thing I want to make clear. That I know what I want to do, but there's people out there that do want to do a course, an ebook, this and that. Get your money, man, or help people however you want to help people. Because the way I do my own thing, that's my own thing. That's what I'm comfortable doing. You know, I never tell people how to do their courses, what to charge, or even if they charge. But you know, that's a very interesting thing, having people pay to call. It's not like you're making anybody do it. They want to do it. They want to support you. Maybe that's the way.
I really thought that, like, when I started that, it was just to push people to show their faces and do the free calls. It was literally in my head just a way for them to be like, well, he charges for private, so I'm going to do public. I didn't expect anybody to actually do the private thing. Because I really do think that, like, I don't know. Well, a part of me used to believe that it was all about information and you just had to give people that information. But my biggest struggle now is that like the quality of my life personally, it is completely like there's nothing holding me back. I have the same lifestyle where I can wake up every day, do whatever I want. I don't have to do anything every day to get my bills taken care of. Everything's taken care of from work in the past. And honestly, like this is amazing, but it's also frustrating having people in my life who I love, who are going through problems and traumas, and seeing how they could fix these things and knowing the information is there, but it's not that simple, you know, because you have to believe that you can change it. And that is something I struggle with.
And you know what? Here's one thing that I learned a long time ago. You can't help people that don't want to be helped. I've dealt with people in my life who were addicts to alcohol, and I tried helping them, and I felt I knew the right answer and what they should do with their life so they could get out of that. But there just comes a point where you have to say, you're going to do whatever you want to do. And I'm going to focus on me. If you need help, great. If you don't, great. But I wish you the best of luck.
If you need help, you got to ask.
Yeah. But I mean, if you want help, meaning if you're ready to move on to the next chapter in your life, not help with $20 for gas. No.
Sorry.
Go ahead. All right. But yeah, man, you can't help people that don't want to be helped.
It's kind of sad.
It is, but that's the world.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to be around as many positive people as possible, because the real world is depressing, man.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, dude, okay, I live in Nicaragua. It's second poorest country in the hemisphere. Like here, like you earn $500 a month. You are well off. Like you can't necessarily go on a vacation whenever you want, but you have your bills taken care of. You can get medical stuff done. You have a pretty decent life. You can provide for a family.
Yeah.
But that's not the reality for most people here. Most people here really struggle. There's political strife. There's economic strife. It's hard for a lot of people, really hard.
And you know what? I wish I knew more about that. I don't. And I wish I could help the world, but I can't. But I could help them in my way. And my way of helping people is through my YouTube channel, so they could become financially independent. Because if they see me, you know, start making money, grow a business, and become financially independent, that's my way of motivating and teaching people how to do the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And ultimately, like the way I deal with these emotions is by understanding that the only person in life who can really change your life is you. Other people can try and think that they know what's best for you, but you are the only person who really knows what's best for you. And a lot of success comes about being able to understand that people who are trying to help you have good intentions. Like in this case, for example, I want you to make Skillshare courses. I think that'd be really cool. Or at least make a YouTube video where you talk about Skillshare and maybe take a couple courses and just share what your experience was like, right? But that doesn't mean that that is what's best for you. Only you know what's best for you. And I can try and, you know, throw some stuff there, and maybe you think about it over the next couple weeks and come to believe, hey, this is something I would genuinely like to do. But that's the important distinction. You have to believe that it's what's good for you. And that's true with any kind of self-employment. You have to be able to get away from that vibe of, because all of us in this world, we were raised by people typically who are like, okay, you got to get a degree, you got to get education to get stability. You can't like do your own boss thing. Like, what are you trying to do? You're crazy. You're just do the things that we had to do as kids to have stability. But the reality is we live in a different world now, and you have to be able to understand that a lot of the people who love you, they want the best for you, but they don't understand what the best for you is, because you're the only one who actually knows that.
And I actually went through that when I was first telling people I want to use YouTube and I want to focus on YouTube. And you get your negative Nancy's, people telling you, no, you can't do it, it's not possible. So I had to put them on check, let them know, hey, I'm gonna do this, and you're either gonna support me or you're not, but I'm gonna do it anyways. But I made sure to not depend on anybody else, because I don't agree when people complain about their parents, that their parents is trying to tell them what to do when they live with their parents rent free. You know, like once I told people, hey, I'm gonna do me, I knew I was by myself. I knew I couldn't count on them because they don't agree with what I'm doing. And in my personal opinion, that's how it has to be. Become independent, but become independent. Don't say you're gonna be independent, do what you want to do with your life, but still ask mom and dad for help or your siblings to take you in. When, hey, you want to achieve your goal, go after it, but it's gonna come with struggles. Just know that.
Yeah. And you got to be able to just push through it.
You have to, man. You have to believe in yourself. And you honestly even have to lie to yourself. Because when I was homeless in my first videos, after the first week, I wanted to go home. But I knew this was the foundation. And I knew that this was going to work. Sooner or later, it had to work. I didn't believe it. But here's the thing. Whatever you tell yourself, positive or negative, the more you tell yourself, the more you're going to believe it. So I kept telling myself, this is going to work. There's the foundation for my future. One day it's going to work. And I just kept telling myself that every time I have doubt until I believed it and I made it happen.
That language that we talk to ourselves in, it's incredibly important. Incredibly important. Especially like some basic things that you guys listening could do if you feel that like maybe you struggle to actually believe in yourself or you struggle to follow through with things. There's little tricks that you can do. Like you can avoid using words like never or always. Anytime you say something negative or think something negative, you have to then immediately be able to be like, okay, what's the opposite of that? And say it. And that may sound really dumb. Like I'm alone in my room, right? And I have a negative thought. So then I'm like, no, Jack, you can do it. You got this. Okay, yeah, talking to myself like a lunatic, right? You would be amazed. I completely agree that we're like reality, it doesn't matter what's real. It doesn't matter if it's like, you know, the chance of things working out is really low. If you tell yourself over and over and over relentlessly that it will work, it either works or you die. Either way, like, you know, it does make a difference. And being able to communicate to yourself in that way is so important.
That's one of the things is you need, like you just said, communicate. Tell yourself you could do it. But you also need to celebrate the small victories. Meaning, like for example, there's so many people that want to grow their YouTube channel. And they're like, oh, I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I'm a failure. Instead, hey, you have 10 subscribers. Good job. Yeah. Hey, you got 100 subscribers. Great job. You're growing. And that's one of the biggest things that helped me build my confidence. I celebrated the smallest victories. And that's another thing you have to do. Tell yourself you could do it, but then start taking steps to making it, like to actually do it, to actually take the action to make it happen. And even if you don't succeed, enjoy the small victories. Hey, at least I tried. Hey, at least I went to the gym for 10 minutes. Hey, at least I made an extra $20 today. That's the mentality you have. Be grateful for what you have.
Yeah, abundance mentality and grateful mentality. These are all things that can be researched if you're listening to this and you want to adopt more of a positive mindset. It's definitely.
You know what? I remember my light switch, because everybody in their mind, we have that aha moment where something just clicks. And funny story is I used to be chubby when I was little, and I was negative. I didn't do a lot. You know, I didn't do sports. I didn't hang out with friends. But then one day, I remember I was hanging out with my friends, and they would jump. You know those brick walls that are around apartments? And they were all jumping those, except me. I couldn't do it. So a couple days later, I'm chilling outside and I see the wall. And I'm like, can I really jump it? Is it possible for me to jump? So I try lifting myself. I couldn't do it. I tried about 3 or 4 other times to try getting over the fence. I couldn't do it. And I felt like giving up. But then that's when I told myself, I have to do it. I know it's possible. If I'm able to get over this wall, anything is possible. And sure enough, I tried pulling myself up. I climbed with my feet. I was at the very top. And then I was like, how do I get down? So I did my best to get down. I fell on my butt, dirt on my back. But right then and there, I wanted to quit for the first 5 times. And if I would have quit, I would have never achieved this goal. But just because I kept trying, I eventually achieved it. And that's my mentality. No matter what I'm going through, eventually I am going to achieve the goal I want to achieve.
Yeah, I just have to keep going over and over again.
You have to, man. Either keep doing it because you love doing it or just stop. There's a lot of people that do things for the money. And sooner or later, that money is going to go down or it's going to go away. And then what are you going to do? At least find something you enjoy doing. Because for example, if my YouTube gets demonetized tomorrow, I'm still going to be posting videos because I love teaching. I'll find out, hey, who knows? Maybe I might start a course, all right? But I love doing this.
Yeah, me too, man. It's been, it's almost unfair, to be honest, like what YouTube can provide people. Considering how much the world suffers, it's, again, touching on that subject earlier of seeing the people around us and knowing how they could change their circumstance. Like, most of the world is suffering, and most of the world could change their lives through use of the internet and things like YouTube, and most people don't. And it's unfortunate.
And here's the thing, though. There's people who tell other people what to do, and there's people that show other people what to do. And me, I don't tell anybody how to live their life, but I'm showing you what I'm doing to become successful. So hopefully I could motivate you and you could follow me. Most of those people, they probably never had somebody tell them you could do it. Whatever you want to achieve, you could achieve. And hey, some people just need the opportunity. Maybe they don't even have $5 or 5 pesos to their name. How are they going to go pay for the internet, or how are they going to do this and that? People need encouragement. They need a role model, and they need the opportunities to make it happen. Because I've given people so many opportunities to start their own business by actually giving them the equipment, but they weren't passionate about it. They only saw it as the money. And sure enough, most of those people never made it happen. So,
and it's also like, if you earn a whole lot of money, that doesn't mean your problems are fixed. And that's honestly one of the reasons I got away from the drop shipping scene, is because there is so much emphasis on earning money. And like, that's good to earn money. But at the same time, it's really ignorant to think that if you have a couple $1,000s coming in every month, that you're not going to have problems. If you aren't careful, you can have more problems with more money.
You're absolutely right. Here's the thing. If you can't manage $100, you can't manage 1,000, 100,000, or $1 million. I learned a long time ago how to manage my money, how to survive with spending as little as possible. And honestly, that's one of the biggest foundations I built in myself that's helping me to this day, because I know how to manage my money. And it takes time, and it takes trial and error. In my early 20s, I would get a paycheck. 2 days later, all gone already.
Woo!
But those are the experiences and the setbacks we have to go. But you need to realize one day, hey, I'm making so much money. Where is it going? And right then and there, you really need to see where's your money's going, how you're managing your money, and hopefully, what are you going to do if you make more money? Because hopefully that's everybody's goal, to make more money, but manage it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, man.
So I figure I would love to keep talking, but it's been about an hour. I feel you wanted this earlier, so I'm assuming you got to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's been
Hey,
great.
man. But just want to say thank you for having me on. This is a different interview than I'm used to, but I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like using the word interview to get the call to happen. But then
Yeah.
the interview dynamic is like, especially with you, I watched like 12 interviews and that made with you, and that made me think like, okay, well, I could make another one of these, but there's already a lot of them. So how can we talk about subjects on a different level? How can I challenge this a little bit? How can we
And
stand out, right?
I like that, man. And that's one thing you have to do. What am I gonna do to stand out from the rest?
Yeah.
I love
All
it,
right,
man.
Reyes. Thanks a bunch. And I hope to maybe in another month or two we could do another call. Something
Yeah. See
yeah.
where we're at in life.
Yeah.
See what other crazy entrepreneur business I started, bro.
Yeah, it'll be cool. All
But
right,
yeah,
man.
man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Ciao. That was pretty awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe, do all that stuff. If you want me to interview or talk to anybody that you know on YouTube, comment below and say the name of the person you want me to reach out to. I'm happy to reach out to anybody and talk about anything, okay? So either comment below in the YouTube video saying who you want me to try and get a call with, or send me an email at jackdermotpitman, JackDermotPitman @gmail.com, and just tell me who you want me to call. I will reach out to them, and hopefully we can get a video to happen just like this. All right, guys. Catch you later. Ciao.